the boring price action when it comes to ICP, that doesn't concern me whatsoever, and I'm not panicking, because a lot of people, they may panic when it comes to this, but not me, because I am taking a look at the end goal when it comes to ICP. Sometimes people out there, they treat this like a sprint, but it's actually a marathon in my opinion, because first of all, ever since I started talking about ICP, the price has actually been up. I get it. There was a good pump, a number of months ago, then there was a pullback, relatively speaking, but even despite that, it's still holding up pretty strong. And I think that if anything showcases the belief that the holders still have, because a lot of them, even despite some panic selling, it's still holding up pretty strong. A lot of them are still diamond handing, and I really like that. So when it comes to ICP, community is A+, exposure is fantastic, listed in a bunch of major exchanges, and also on top of that, the internet computer is absolutely amazing. So I think that the race is far from over. Not to mention, people out there seem to think that, oh yeah, when it comes to ICP, it's being outperformed by several micro caps, some meme coins, all this type of stuff. But I could care less about that, because I'm not in the world of cryptocurrencies to look for a 1000x. That's just not me. Now, granted, some people out there are looking for that, but I'm not, because if ICP were to go to the price of $500 during this bull run, that right there is around a 64x from here. That's all good in my opinion. Anything over a 10x is already fantastic for me. Anything over that is really just a big bonus. That's the way I view it. Because imagine if I went to bed, right? And one day I woke up and then the next day there was 10 times the amount of cars that I had in my garage. That would be insane. I'd be like, whoa, what the, So when it comes to, anything over a 10x, I think it's already very amazing nonetheless. And some people out there, they sometimes underestimate the fundamentals of the internet computer, but not me, because when I'm taking a look at the world's most productive blockchain, it's not Kaka. At least that's the way you take a look at it. I saw Luna Classic found a bottom, right? It had a big pump. I saw Klima DAO find a bottom. I saw something like, Litecoin have such an amazing pump back in 2021. And let's face it, Litecoin is just complete caca, in my opinion. So if I take a look at something like that, ICP can't do well during this bull run. Now I get it. Bitcoin is absolutely skyrocketing. Everything is looking very bullish. We're seeing some meme coins pump, AI projects pump, but eventually things are going to shift beyond that and move towards other projects, because let's face it, we haven't seen that 2021 moment yet when things are truly euphoric, when everyone's FOMOing into random projects, when even the bad projects are pumping. We haven't seen that yet. I think the race is far from over. Not to mention, even as a worst case scenario based off of history, altcoins, they've been known to peak around 18 months after a Bitcoin halving event. So if you actually take that into consideration, that would be a worst case around October of next year, because the last Bitcoin halving event happened back in April. So there's still some time there. Things could happen sooner, yes. But again, if anything, it showcases how there's still some time. So when people are panicking, all this type of stuff, I'm not. If anything, I'm using it as a good time for me to dollar cost average, because if I loved ICP several months ago, I'll love it even more as of right now. My mentality is this. If something is at the price of $10 and let's say it drops to the price of $1, I'll be 10 times more bullish. That's my mentality. Now, it's not financial advice, and of course, no one has to follow what I'm doing or even think the same way I do, but I'm just saying that's the way I view it. And also, if you take a look at the internet computer, it's aiming to decentralize the internet. That's A+. It's focused on decentralized AI. I mean, that's amazing. You also take a look at, for instance, ICP is under consideration when it comes to Grayscale in terms of assets that they want to theoretically acquire, right? Allegedly, because again, not too long ago, I even talked about Grayscale having ICP under their assets under consideration. So when you take a look at the internet computer, that right there truly showcases how it's pretty much a solid project. Things are not going to be considered by Grayscale if they're completely bad. That's not the case whatsoever. ICP, I get it. The price isn't doing the best, but oftentimes people associate, bad price movements with bad fundamentals. But I completely disagree with that, because first of all, if you take a look at being focused on AI, that market right there is predicted to be worth nearly $2 trillion by 2030, according to Grandview Research. So it's not a bad idea to be focused on that. Is the internet computer the only thing that's focused on that? No, but it's good nonetheless. And on top of that, they do have, the aspect of decentralization. Again, focus on decentralized AI. Decentralization brings benefits, like for instance, again, through decentralization, security and scalability. So yeah, this is very fantastic stuff. When it comes to the internet computer, it really puts a lot of the competitors out there to shame. If you take a look at Solana, okay, I get it. It has a lot of fans, a lot of hype, but I think that the internet computer is just a lot better. You take a look at Solana at one point experienced 8 different network outages in just a time span of a year. That's completely caca, in my opinion. Granted, Solana did fix that, but you don't see any of that type of stuff on the internet computer. Now, if we take a look at when compared to like the BNB Smart Chain ecosystem, right? For instance, just last year, slightly over 2% of the crypto hacks that happened actually occurred on the BNB Smart Chain ecosystem. So if you actually take a look at it, that's really bad. Now, of course, this is according to Crypto.com research, but even though that figure may seem small, you take a look at the crypto space overall is massive. That's very unacceptable in my opinion. The internet computer is just a lot better. That's just the way I view it. It's a lot better than these dinosaurs, and not to mention, a lot of people, they like to FOMO into like a BNB, Solana, something like Ethereum. They can do that. Also, several other projects. But personally, for me, I'd much rather choose ICP. It's amazing, but it's not a microcap, so there's still somewhat security there. And also on top of that, it's not too big where the room for growth is bad. I think this pretty much ticks all the boxes. At least that's the way I view it, especially when you have over 500 million crypto owners, according to Crypto.com research, more than ever before in history. This may seem kind of like small in the grand scheme of things because people are like, okay, there's billions upon billions of people in this world. This isn't even like 10% of the world population. I understand that. However, here's the thing. You have to take into consideration how, given perspective, this number is very impressive. For instance, even during the peak of the 2021 bull run, there was roughly only around 300 million crypto owners, so pretty much like 50% less than right now. So I think this bull run could be truly special, but it's just a waiting game. And some people, they don't like waiting, and, it's up to them, right? But the way I view it is that I'm in the game anyways. I might as well just wait. Instead of putting my cash, right, in a bank account, I'd much rather have it in cryptocurrencies, much like ICP, because again, I'm going to have to wait anyway. So if I'm waiting, either I can get my cash, right, eaten up by inflation, or I can put in cryptocurrencies. Of course, there's a potential it could go down, but again, there's a hypothetical potential that it could go up. So that's why I'd much rather choose this over just putting in a bank account or some random nonsense like the S&P 500. I'm not saying that it's completely caca or something, but again, I wouldn't do that. What I'm focused on is just, again, dollar cost averaging. Anytime an income, acquire, hold, and I just wait, because around 6 months to a year from right now, I think things could be so different. But it's just a waiting game, right? Because ICP at the price of $500 wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. And it's not like the market cap would be too crazy either. Considering current circulating supply, market cap would be around $237 billion, which isn't insane. We've seen, Ethereum reached this by over $300 billion, even back in 2021, at a time where there was far less action, I would say, going on. So I think this time around it could be so different. But again, I think things could be very amazing in 2025. That's why I'm staying patient. And $500 wouldn't surprise me whatsoever when it comes to ICP. And that's why the boring price doesn't affect me whatsoever. I don't mind having these boring prices, at least for the meantime. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.